Join me today as I rank and review your top 10 rides at Disney's California Adventure Park. So starting off with a number 10 spot, it seems that you guys have picked Goofy Sky School, and I absolutely love Goofy. I think it's one of the most iconic Disney characters, and to mix it with a Goofy ride itself and the idea of a flight adventure is so awesome. When looking at the queue line, you can see that it is kind of inspired by this, getting you into the spirit of the ride. I love the canopies above here. I think at California, you have got to be in the shade. One thing you may not know though, is that with this ride being designed not for Disney capacity, but for average theme park, amusement park or fun fair, you could be in this queue for a very long time. Onto the ride itself though, of course it has not got the same level of theming as the other attractions, but it is pretty hard to theme a coaster with all the supports and everything. So I think what they have done is really good fun. With of course all the billboards with Goofy on it, the incredible views across the Grand Californian Hotel, Pixar Pier and the other parts of the park, and of course a very enjoyable layout. And those brake runs where you slam into those brakes, if you're not holding your phone tightly, it is going to fly away like Goofy. Swinging on to our number 9 spot though, we've got Pixar Pal-A-Round, and this ride looks incredible. Of course it is the iconic wheel of the park, and I do not know what this park would be without it. The only thing is, however, there is multiple options for this attraction. So on the one hand, you could choose a non-swinging option, which as you can see, is basically your classic Ferris wheel ride. On the other hand, however, if you choose to go on the swinging gondolas, they can get you very dizzy. Where else can you go on a gondola, rise up into the sky, and then via the oval track, literally swing down the track, leading you down to swing back and forth to some crazy heights. I remember when I actually did this back in 2019, it got so crazy that they actually had sick bags next to you, which fortunately I never had to use, but I imagine if you do have to use a sick bag, especially on that, I mean look at it, probably wouldn't be doing the swinging option again. Okay, where do I begin talking about our number 8 spot? It is themed towards Monsters Inc., one of my all-time favourite Pixar films, and I can imagine you guys will agree too. And a little fun fact before this journey does begin, and you do head through the city of Monstropolis, if you are in a group of only 2 people, we would suggest asking for the Buddy Pass. Now in a nutshell, what a Buddy Pass is, it is a special pass where if you're in a group of 2 or less, they will allow you to jump to the back. Normally it's got a much shorter queue line, so when heading to the park, make sure to ask, are they doing the Buddy Pass today? And if so, you can get on this ride within around 20 minutes. This ride really does show, in my opinion, the difference between the old Disney and the new Disney. Now today you see a lot more screens being used on rides, a lot more projections, whereas over here you have got the animatronics, you've got the screens, which then complement it all. I mean, just look at that abominable snowman. How great of a screen works there. That's what I mean. Great screening. Wow, next up we have got Midway Mania. Such an iconic Disney ride and such a fun one too. Starting off our experience at the entrance to the ride, it just works so well in Pixar Pier. Now I'm not 100% sure. I need you guys to help me down in the comment section below. Was this ride here before we revamp of Pixar Pier, or did it come alongside? I'm pretty sure it was beforehand, but I'm not 100% sure. But as far as the ride itself goes, once you do board, the systems all work the same. You've been able to shoot the gun at all of the different games. Of course, it does use screens in this ride, but once again, that works incredibly well. With the games changing, sometimes you're chucking discs, other times you're throwing darts, and all round you are having a totally fun time. Of course, what you're watching right now is it in 2D, but this is actually a 3D ride, so when you do make your way towards the front of the queue line too, you will be getting some 3D glasses that you'll put on and make this ride even more authentic as you head round. Now there are a few rides doing this right now, including web swingers too, but actually at the end of the day it works so well, I'm not going to complain about it. Moving from one laser game to the next, we have now got Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure. The thing that is so awesome about these is that they are re-rideable, so after doing the first time on one, you can do another time on one. You get a new score, try to beat that new score and have a really good fun time. I've in fact never actually watched a Spider-Man film, so I'm not actually that good with the knowledge behind it, but what I do know is that he does shoot the webs like that, and so can you when you're heading this ride by using the sensors above and below. You can shoot like that at all the different bots, try to get the highest score, and remember, each bots do a different score, so if you do get the harder ones to get, you will build up very quickly. Oh, that's cool. This ride over here has in fact got a theme towards Guardians of the Galaxy, and the exact same ride over at Paris has got a theme towards Iron Man. Now the reason for that is over at California Adventure, the other ride in Avengers Campus is an incredible Guardians of the Galaxy mission Breakout, whereas over at Paris, the other ride in that land is in fact an Iron Man flight, which is really cool how even on the other rides, they give a little link and a little reference towards the other attractions without blasting it in your face. Okay, we are now halfway through the list, and a ride which I would personally put a little bit higher if it was me. This is Grizzly River Run, and this is by far the best rapids ride on the entire planet. Themed towards a California national park, this is actually one of our only open day attractions which is still in its original form. I mean, to think about the theme for this ride, it's not just the ride itself which is incredibly well themed, but around it the land is inspired towards it, and even the hotel, the Grand Californian Hotel, has got the same theme for this. So when you're heading around it, it feels like you really are immersed in the land. I don't know if you guys know this, but fun fact, that mountain right there is actually a bear, hence the name Grizzly Peak, and if you look when you go into it, you can see all the paws, the hands, and everything like that. Such great touches towards the attraction. One thing I think is really awesome about Rapids Rides, and I don't know if you guys agree, is that unlike log flumes, where you all sit like a row of seats, on Rapids Rides you all face inwards, which makes it so fun when you're going around. And I know if you are in a big group, we get put in a bigger group, watching everyone opposite you get soaked, and then you get soaked, always laughs and fun reactions. Okay, here we now go for a big drop. Let's see how much it spins, because it has been known to spin an awful lot on these drops. So here you go. And that's the thing, you don't know if you're going to get in the wave or not, and boom. Yeah. Soaking, awesome, love that ride. Grizzly River Run is not the only rider located in this national park, but also soaring around the world. Now, it used to be called Soarin over California, which I think works so well. It's a bit weird right now because over at Disney World, they got Soarin over California, whereas over at Disneyland California, they got Soarin around the world, which doesn't make a lot of sense. I remember after my big road trip in 2019 when we went on this ride, it was so nice to remember everything we've done. We went to half those places, we saw those things, and to be able to relive those memories on this ride was really, really awesome. Yeah, whenever I look at that guy, I only ever think of Kronk from Emperor's New Groove. Such a good film as well. If you've never watched it before, watch Emperor's New Groove, the best Disney film in my eyes. I mean, if watching this ride does not make you want to travel around the world, I do not know what will. It's so, so cool. And when you're on the ride itself, it's got so many smells, senses, effects, and all that sort of stuff, really immersing you in the land. So when you do get off, I mean, it sometimes can be a bit of an emotional experience because it is so, so nice. And of course, the sea as well rocks, making you feel like you're flying, there's wind in your face. Oh, brilliant attraction. Now here we approach a rather controversial one. Now this is Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, and the controversial part is not actually the reason why it's on the list of this position, but it is actually whether Guardians of the Galaxy is better than Tower of Terror, and in my eyes it definitely is. Unfortunately guys, you cannot skip a pre-show for this ride. It is very good the first time round, but like all pre-shows, once you know the first time, then the second time, then the third time, there's only so many times you can see Rocket go around, even though it is definitely one of the best pre-shows out there. So yeah, the gantry lift, actually the seats are the exact same as the ones that are on Tower of Terror, which again I think works. I mean, the theme behind this ride clearly is that you're in the collector's edition, you're going around and trying to save the Guardians of the Galaxy with Rocket and escape from it. So I guess it kind of works, but I would maybe imagine it being more futuristic. So fun fact about all the Tower of Terror rides is that when you're actually on the ride itself, normally on rides like Drop Towers, you just drop, but to make you come out of your seat, they actually had a rope on the bottom and the top, so when you go up it pulls you up, and when you go down it actually pulls you down faster than gravity, which then takes you out of your seat, and that's how you felt weightlessness sensation on these rides. Another cool thing about all the Guardians of the Galaxy rides as well is that you can have a different experience every single time, so with all different songs, for different atmosphere, and even the sequence of a ride changes from ride to ride. So you may do it one time and love it, you may do it next time and like it, you may do it and hate it. I mean, I don't know. This is Cars, and whilst the last ride was controversial about Tower of Terror or this, I would say this is #1 spot in the whole way. Not just for this park, but the entire planet. This is my favourite ride in the world. For starters, walking through Radiator Springs is amazing. It's a complete replica of the film itself. You meet all the Cars characters, you go in the shops, you get such a nice atmosphere when you make your way around, and then you come to this ride here. The staff go as quick as they can to get you guys on. So much so, you put your seatbelts on, then the ride begins, and then they check your seatbelts. So it's not even like they do that. They're constantly dispatching, which shows really how popular this ride is. I just want to point out as well that whilst I do talk over it, the music makes this ride actually composed by Randy Newman for the ride itself. You've got a mix of all the car soundtracks, you've also got some other touches as well, which is so, so good. Then of course you race around Radiator Springs against another car. I mean, look at this theming guys. It is so much fun. Again, a really fun aspect at the end. The start of the ride you're not joining another car, then at the end of course you meet up with a car that's either in front of you or behind you for this final race. Really, really enjoyable family experience, and definitely worth the 2 hour whatever queues it can get. Okay, and obviously our final ride is going to go towards Incredicoaster. It is definitely a #1 spot ride for many, and I do see why you guys put this ride right here. Starting off with a launch, really, really free. Not too fast that you can't enjoy it, but really, really freeing. Meeting all the incredible characters, at which point you've also got onboard speakers, which totally adds to the experience. I think if it wasn't for the onboard speakers, it could have been even like a #3 spot ride. And as a quick final tip, as we make our way past all the Jack Jacks, make sure not to ride this ride straight away, as whilst it is extremely popular, the throughput is absolutely huge. See you guys next time.